Have you ever wondered why some people who earn millions still end up broke, while others with modest incomes quietly build fortunes? Take Ronald Reed, for example, a janitor who passed away with $8 million in savings. No lottery tickets, no golden inheritance, just the magic of consistent saving and the power of compounding. His story flips the script on what it truly means to be wealthy. Now picture this. You're on the road and a sleek Ferrari zooms past. Instinctively, you think, that driver must be rich. But what if I told you that true wealth isn't about the car you drive or the house you flaunt? True wealth is what you don't see. It's financial security. It's freedom. The freedom to quit a job you hate, to take a year off, or to spend your time exactly how you want. This is what the psychology of money dives into, shifting the focus from numbers and spreadsheets to behavior, emotions, and mindset. It reveals how mastering your psychology is the key to making smarter financial choices. In this video, we'll explore the timeless lessons this book offers, along with real-life examples and practical tips to help you redefine your relationship with money. Let's get started. Chapter 1. No one's crazy. It's all about behavior. People often do puzzling things with money, things that might leave us scratching our heads. But here's something fascinating. These decisions usually make perfect sense to them. The key lies in understanding that financial choices are deeply rooted in personal experiences, not just logic or numbers. Think about it. Every one of us has grown up in unique circumstances that shape how we see the world. If someone grew up in a time or place where hyperinflation was rampant, they might have watched the value of money evaporate in front of their eyes. In their mind, saving money feels like filling a leaky bucket. It seems safer to spend it as fast as they can before it loses value. Now, compare that to someone raised in a different environment. Imagine they saw their parents save diligently and invest wisely, slowly building wealth over decades. That person is likely to trust the idea of saving and compounding, believing in the rewards of patience and long-term planning. Both behaviors, spending quickly or saving diligently, are a response to personal experiences. They're not about being irrational or crazy. Instead, they're about survival, shaped by what life has taught them. But here's a question. Does everyone's behavior lead to the same outcomes? Let me tell you two contrasting stories that capture this perfectly. Meet Ronald Reed. He lived a humble life as a janitor and gas station attendant. From the outside, Ronald's life was as ordinary as it gets. No flashy cars, no expensive vacations, just a quiet existence. But when Ronald passed away at the age of 92, he left behind an astonishing fortune, over $8 million. So, how did a janitor achieve what most of us can only dream of? Did he inherit a windfall? Did he win the lottery? No, Ronald simply mastered a few timeless principles. Save what you can, invest consistently in strong companies, and let time, and the magic of compounding, work its wonders. He understood that small, consistent efforts over a long period could grow into something extraordinary. Now, let's look at the opposite side of the spectrum. Meet Richard Fuscone, a highly educated finance executive. He had everything: elite degrees, a high-paying career, and a lifestyle most people dream of. But despite all that, Richard lost it all during the 2008 financial crisis. The reason? He took on excessive risk. Richard borrowed heavily to fund an extravagant lifestyle, maintaining a massive mansion with 7 garages, 2 pools, and monthly upkeep costs of over $90,000. When the financial crisis hit, the house of cards collapsed. High debt and illiquid assets left him bankrupt. So here we have two people, Ronald, a janitor, and Richard, a finance executive. One ended up with millions, and the other ended up with nothing. The difference wasn't about intelligence, background, or education. It was about behavior. Ronald was patient and disciplined, while Richard was overconfident and reckless. This brings us to the core lesson of this chapter. Financial behavior is deeply personal. It's shaped by what we've seen, felt, and experienced. What looks like a bad decision to one person might seem perfectly logical to another. For example, if you grew up watching your family struggle to make ends meet, you might prioritize security and avoid taking financial risks, even if the potential rewards are great. On the other hand, if you've always had a safety net, you might take bold risks without a second thought. But does this mean every decision is a good one? Not at all. While our actions make sense within our own contexts, it's essential to recognize that some behaviors, like excessive risk-taking, can lead to disastrous outcomes, as we saw with Richard So, what's the takeaway here? It's twofold. First, we should avoid judging others harshly for their financial choices. Instead, let's try to understand the experiences that shaped their behavior. Second, we need to reflect on our own financial habits. Ask yourself, what lessons has life taught me about money? Are those lessons helping or hurting me today? By understanding the psychology behind our DESI science, we can start building better habits and, ultimately, a healthier relationship with money. In the end, this chapter reminds us that success with money isn't about being the smartest person in the room or having all the answers. It's about having the right behavior, patience, discipline, and an understanding of your own psychology. Chapter 2. Luck and Risk. Let's start with a name you all know, Bill Gates. Gates' intelligence and work ethic are undeniable. But here's the twist. Luck played a massive role in his journey to becoming one of the richest men in the world. In the 1960s, when computers were almost unheard of, Gates attended Lakeside School, one of the very few high schools that had access to a computer. Imagine this, a young Bill sitting in front of a machine that most people wouldn't see for another decade. This early exposure wasn't something he controlled, but it shaped his future. Without that computer, would Microsoft exist as we know it? Maybe not. Now, let's shift the spotlight to Kent Evans, Gates' friend and a fellow computer enthusiast at Lakeside. Kent was every bit as ambitious and talented as Gates. Together, they dreamed of building a future in technology. But their paths took a tragic turn when Kent died in a mountaineering accident before graduating high school. This story reminds us of the flip side of luck, risk. Kent didn't get the chance to see his dreams unfold. It wasn't because he lacked talent or vision. It was an unpredictable, uncontrollable event that changed everything. These stories of Gates and Kent illustrate the delicate balance of luck and risk in life. Success isn't always earned, and failure isn't always deserved. This dynamic is especially true in finance. Unlike fields like medicine or engineering, where skill and training largely determine success, finance is different. In investing, someone with little formal education could outperform a highly credentialed Wall Street analyst. Why? Because factors like timing, market conditions, and sheer luck often outweigh skill. Think about it. Ronald Read, the janitor from Chapter 1, quietly built an $8 million fortune through steady investing and time. Contrast that with high-powered professionals who lost fortunes despite their expertise. Finance is not a hard science. It's a game of probabilities, where uncontrollable factors can swing outcomes dramatically. So, what does this teach us? The importance of humility. Recognizing the roles of luck and risk helps us stay grounded. When we succeed, it reminds us not to become overly confident or arrogant. Success isn't always entirely our doing. At the same time, when others face setbacks, we're less likely to judge them harshly. Failure often stems from circumstances outside anyone's control. This perspective fosters empathy, something the world could always use more of. So, what does this teach us? The importance of humility. Recognizing the roles of luck and risk helps us stay grounded. When we succeed, it reminds us not to become overly confident or arrogant. Success isn't always entirely our doing. At the same time, when others face setbacks, we're less likely to judge them harshly. Failure often stems from circumstances outside anyone's control. This perspective fosters empathy, something the world could always use more of. Chapter 2 leaves us with 3 powerful lessons. 1. Success and failure are rarely as straightforward as hard work versus laziness. Luck and risk shape all of our lives, often in ways we can't predict. 2. Avoid idolizing extreme cases. Sure, extraordinary stories like Gates are inspiring, but they're often the result of unique circumstances that don't apply to most of us. Instead, focus on broader patterns that we can learn from and replicate. 3. Finally, remember this. Nothing is ever as good or as bad as it seems. Life is complex, and outcomes are rarely entirely about skill or poor judgment. This understanding builds resilience. It teaches us to forgive ourselves for failures and to appreciate the fragile nature of success. So, what's the takeaway? Luck and risk are 2 sides of the same coin, shaping our lives in unpredictable ways. Success isn't entirely in our control, and neither is failure. What is in our control is how we react, staying humble, resilient, and empathetic in the face of life's unpredictability. Chapter 3. Never Enough. Let's begin with an anecdote about authors Kurt Vonnegut and Joseph Heller. At a party hosted by a billionaire, Vonnegut pointed out the host's immense fortune. In response, Heller calmly said, "Yes, but I have something he will never have enough." This single sentence cuts to the heart of what this chapter is about. Understanding when you have enough and avoiding the traps of insatiable greed. But not everyone masters this idea, and the consequences can be devastating. Take Rajat Gupta, for example. He rose from humble beginnings in India to become the CEO of McKinsey, one of the most prestigious consulting firms in the world. By his mid-40s, he had amassed a fortune of $100 million. For most of us, that sounds like more than enough. But Gupta didn't see it that way. Surrounded by billionaires, he wasn't content with millions. His desire for more led him to engage in insider trading, sharing confidential information to chase higher profits. The result? He lost everything: his reputation, his career, and his freedom. Then there's Bernie Madoff, a name synonymous with greed. Madoff orchestrated one of the largest Ponzi schemes in history, defrauding investors of billions of dollars. What's shocking is that Madoff was already incredibly wealthy. He lived a lavish lifestyle with all the trappings of success. But it wasn't enough. His unchecked greed didn't just ruin him. It destroyed the financial security of countless others. He ended up in prison, a stark reminder of how destructive the endless pursuit of more can be. So, why do people risk everything for more, even when they already have enough? The answer lies in human psychology. As we achieve one goal, the goalpost moves. Think about it. When you land your dream job or buy your first car, how long does the satisfaction last? Before you know it, you're eyeing a bigger house, a fancier car, or a higher salary. This cycle keeps us running, always chasing, but never arriving. Social comparison fuels this fire. In today's world, it's easier than ever to compare ourselves to others. There's always someone with more, a bigger paycheck, a better vacation, or a flashier lifestyle. And when we focus on these comparisons, we rob ourselves of the joy we could find in our own achievements. But here's the truth: enough isn't too little. It's not about settling or limiting your potential. It's about knowing when to stop chasing and start appreciating. Studies have shown that once your basic needs are met, additional wealth has diminishing returns on happiness. Beyond a certain point, more money doesn't mean more joy. Instead, it can lead to stress, risky behavior, and damaged relationships. So, what can we learn from this chapter? 1. The hardest financial skill is stopping the goalpost from moving. If you keep redefining what success looks like, satisfaction will always be out of reach. 2. Social comparison is the enemy of contentment. There will always be someone richer. Instead of looking sideways, focus on your own journey. 3. Enough isn't mediocrity, it's wisdom. Recognizing when you have enough frees you to focus on what truly matters: your health, relationships, and happiness. This chapter challenges us to ask, what does enough mean to me? Am I chasing wealth for the sake of validation? Or am I building a life that truly fulfills me? Understanding enough isn't about giving up ambition. It's about knowing when to stop, so the pursuit of more doesn't cost you everything you already have. Chapter 4. Compounding. Compounding is often called the eighth wonder of the world, and for good reason. It's the simple, yet incredibly powerful process of earning returns not just on your original investment, but also on the accumulated interest or gains. Imagine a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but as it gathers more snow, it grows exponentially. That's compounding in action. To understand its true potential, let's look at Warren Buffett. Buffett didn't just become one of the richest people in the world because he's a skilled investor, though he certainly is. The real secret lies in when he started. Buffett began investing when he was just 10 years old. Over decades, his wealth grew, not through chasing quick wins, but by staying consistent and letting time work its magic. Here's the thing: compounding thrives on patience. The biggest gains often come much later in the process, after years or even decades of consistent effort. Think about planting a tree. For the first few years, you may barely notice any growth. But as time goes on, the tree grows stronger and taller, its branches spreading further. Compounding works in a similar way. The most significant growth happens when you've stayed the course for a long time. However, there's a trap many fall into: the desire for quick profits. It's tempting to look for flashy investments or try to time the market. But the truth is, chasing unsustainable high returns often leads to more risk and disappointment. Instead, focusing on steady, reasonable growth, even if it feels slow at first, can lead to remarkable outcomes over time. Interruptions are another enemy of compounding. Think about pulling money out of your investments prematurely or panicking during market downturns. These actions disrupt the compounding process and reduce the long-term growth potential of your money. It's like stopping a marathon halfway through. You lose the opportunity to cross the finish line. Here are the most important lessons from this chapter. 1. Start early. The earlier you begin investing, the more time you give compounding to work its magic. Even small amounts invested consistently can grow into something substantial. 2. Be patient. Compounding isn't about overnight success. It's a slow process that rewards those who stick with it for the long haul. Trust the journey, even when progress seems slow in the beginning. 3. Stay consistent. Regular, disciplined investing is crucial. Avoid making impulsive decisions based on short-term market trends or emotions. 4. Think long-term. Shift your focus from quick gains to building sustainable wealth over decades. A long-term mindset will help you make smarter, more rational financial decisions. Compounding is like a quiet but tireless worker. It doesn't make a lot of noise up front, but given enough time, it can achieve extraordinary results. By understanding and applying these principles, you can turn the power of compounding into a cornerstone of your financial success. Chapter 5. Getting Rich versus Staying Rich. In this chapter, the focus shifts from how to accumulate wealth to the often overlooked challenge of maintaining it over time. While many financial guides center on getting rich, staying rich requires a different mindset and approach, one that involves resilience, discipline, and long-term thinking. The first crucial element in maintaining wealth is survival. It's not enough to just accumulate money. You need to be able to withstand the inevitable ups and downs of life and the market. The reality is that even successful companies face challenges. 40% of them eventually fail. This illustrates the importance of building financial resilience. The key is to have a financial foundation that can withstand unexpected events. Having an emergency fund, diversified investments, and adaptable income streams is essential for surviving the inevitable downturns and continuing to grow wealth. To protect wealth, the chapter emphasizes two critical traits: frugality and paranoia. Frugality in this context means using your resources wisely and avoiding unnecessary spending. It's not about being cheap, but about making thoughtful, deliberate financial decisions. Even when wealth accumulates, it's important to avoid falling into the trap of overindulgence or complacency. On the other hand, paranoia, in a positive sense, refers to maintaining a healthy awareness that your wealth can be lost quickly if you aren't careful. This healthy fear keeps you grounded and prevents you from making impulsive, risky decisions that could jeopardize your financial stability. The chapter contrasts the stories of two investors to highlight the different paths to maintaining wealth. Jesse Livermore, known as one of the greatest stock traders of his time, made and lost several fortunes. His story illustrates the dangers of volatility and a lack of long-term planning. Despite his incredible success in the market, Livermore's inability to sustain his wealth, along with his personal struggles, ultimately led to his tragic end. In contrast, Gerald Loeb, another successful investor, managed to preserve his wealth by adhering to principles of frugality and careful risk management. Loeb's story shows the importance of thinking long-term and exercising discipline in both spending and investing. Humility plays a significant role in the ability to stay rich. Acknowledging that luck plays a large part in success helps to prevent overconfidence. While hard work and intelligence are undoubtedly essential, recognizing that some aspects of success are outside our control helps us stay grounded. It also prevents us from making risky decisions based on a false sense of invincibility. By understanding that wealth is often influenced by factors beyond our control, we can make more prudent choices that protect our financial position and keep us from getting too complacent. Finally, 3 key principles for staying rich are outlined. First, financial unbreakability involves building a solid foundation that can withstand unexpected events. This includes having an emergency fund, managing debt responsibly, and avoiding high-risk investments that could threaten financial security. Second, flexibility and adaptability are vital. The ability to adjust to changing circumstances, whether through rethinking investment strategies, exploring new career opportunities, or even downsizing your lifestyle if needed, ensures that you remain resilient in times of change. Lastly, A balance of sensible optimism with a dose of paranoia helps you stay grounded while remaining open to new opportunities. This balanced perspective allows you to remain hopeful about the future while taking the necessary precautions to protect your wealth. Ultimately, staying rich requires a shift in mindset. It's about building a sustainable financial future that can withstand the test of time. By focusing on survival, maintaining frugality, being adaptable, and staying humble, you can move from merely getting rich to ensuring that your wealth endures for the long term. Chapter 6. Tails You Win. In Chapter 6, the concept of tails is introduced, which refers to the extreme ends of a distribution of outcomes. In the world of finance, these tails can account for a large portion of the overall results, meaning that a small number of events can have a massive impact on outcomes. A key idea explored is the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle. This principle states that 80% of effects come from 20% of the causes. In the context of investing, it means that a small number of investments often generate the majority of returns. For instance, just a few stocks or decisions may drive the bulk of your portfolio's performance, while other investments contribute far less to your overall success. This highlights how disproportionately important a few key decisions can be in determining long-term wealth. Warren Buffett, often hailed as one of the greatest investors of all time, exemplifies this concept. Despite his impressive track record, Buffett has only had a handful of successful investments that accounted for the bulk of his wealth. Out of nearly 500 stocks he's invested in, only 10 of them have driven most of his returns. This stark reality underscores the importance of understanding that even for the most successful investors, failures are part of the process, and not every decision will result in a win. It also reminds us that the key to success isn't in avoiding failure, but in understanding which failures are part of the bigger picture and which ones can be offset by those few significant successes. The concept of tails also applies to businesses that embrace risk and uncertainty, such as Netflix and Amazon. These companies know that only a small fraction of their efforts will truly pay off. Netflix produces a vast number of shows, but only a few become global hits. Similarly, Amazon experiments with various products, with the understanding that most will fail, but a few will achieve massive success. By taking risks and embracing failure, these companies capitalize on the outliers, the few successes that make up for the many failures. This strategy encourages calculated risk-taking and learning from what doesn't work, ultimately driving significant returns over time. This idea of tails ties into the concept of black swan events, which were popularized by author Nassim Taleb. Black swan events are rare, unpredictable, and often have extreme impacts. They are outliers, events that defy expectations and seem impossible to foresee. But once they happen, they often appear predictable, making people wonder why no one saw them coming. The stock market crash, natural disasters, or even global pandemics are examples of black swan events. These rare occurrences can have an enormous impact on our financial outcomes, making it important to understand that extreme events can't always be avoided, but their effects can be mitigated by accepting them as part of the process. To navigate the unpredictability of tails and black swans, the chapter offers key lessons. 1. Accept that failures will happen. Setbacks are an inevitable part of investing in life. Instead of seeing them as personal shortcomings, view them as opportunities to learn and grow. Every failure offers insights that can improve your approach. 2. Focus on the bigger picture. Don't get caught up in individual wins or losses. Evaluate the overall performance of your portfolio, understanding that a few big successes can outweigh many smaller failures. This perspective reduces stress and promotes a balanced approach to investing. 3. Stay calm during downturns. Black swan events often lead to market crashes, causing widespread panic. However, long-term investors who resist the urge to make impulsive decisions are often rewarded for staying the course. 4. Build a margin of safety. Prepare for the unexpected by incorporating buffers into your financial plans. This might mean maintaining a robust emergency fund, diversifying your investments, or taking a more conservative approach. A margin of safety provides resilience during extreme negative events. By embracing the reality of tails and their unpredictable nature, you can develop a healthier mindset toward investing. Recognizing that a few significant events or decisions will likely drive most of your results encourages calculated risks, resilience, and a focus on the long term. Chapter 7. Freedom. In this chapter, the focus shifts to the relationship between money and freedom, emphasizing that money's greatest value lies in its ability to provide control over your time. True wealth, as the chapter explains, is not measured by material possessions, but by the ability to live life on your own terms. The highest dividend money can pay is the freedom to wake up each day and decide how to spend your time. This freedom to choose what you do, who you spend it with, and how you live your life is invaluable. It surpasses any material possession because it gives you agency over your life, a level of autonomy that significantly contributes to happiness and well-being. Psychologist Angus Campbell's research further supports this idea, showing that a sense of control is one of the strongest determinants of happiness. Financial security plays a crucial role in fostering this autonomy, as it allows you to make decisions based on your values and priorities, rather than being forced into choices out of necessity. This control over your life is often what people seek when they pursue financial success, even if they don't consciously realize it. However, the chapter warns of a common trap: high-paying jobs that demand excessive time and sacrifice personal freedom. The author shares a personal anecdote about working as an investment banker, a role that offered substantial financial rewards, but came at the cost of long hours, constant pressure, and little personal time. Despite the impressive paycheck, the lack of control over their schedule made the experience miserable. This story serves as a cautionary tale, reminding readers that money alone cannot buy happiness, especially if it comes at the expense of autonomy and well-being. Wealth is also redefined in this chapter. It's not about how much you spend, but about how much you don't. Unspent assets provide flexibility, allowing you to take risks, pursue new opportunities, or simply enjoy leisure time without the constant worry of financial constraints. This financial cushion empowers you to make decisions aligned with your desires rather than out of necessity, granting you a sense of freedom that spending alone cannot achieve. To cultivate a life of freedom, the chapter encourages readers to reflect on their relationship with money. 1. Identify your definition of freedom. Take time to reflect on what freedom means to you. What brings you joy and fulfillment? What would your ideal day look like if you had full control over your time? Defining your personal vision of freedom will help you set financial goals that align with your values. 2. Avoid the money for time trap. High-paying jobs or ventures can be enticing, but if they demand excessive time and compromise your personal life, they may not be worth the sacrifice. Financial rewards lose their value if they come at the cost of your well-being and the ability to enjoy life. 3. Embrace flexibility and optionality. Build financial security that offers options. Whether it's through a solid emergency fund, diversified income streams, or investments that generate passive income, having a financial cushion provides the freedom to make decisions based on your desires, not out of necessity. 4. Value experiences over material possessions. Shift your focus from accumulating goods to creating meaningful experiences. These experiences often bring lasting happiness and enrich your life in ways material possessions cannot. 5. Practice gratitude and contentment. Finally, appreciate what you already have. Cultivating a mindset of gratitude helps you avoid the endless pursuit of more and allows you to savor the present moment. By aligning your financial decisions with your pursuit of freedom, you can create a life that is both financially secure and personally fulfilling. Money becomes a tool, not an end goal, to help you design a life that reflects your values and priorities, granting you the freedom to truly live on your terms. Chapter 8. The Man in the Car Paradox. This chapter delves into the complex relationship between money, respect, and admiration, highlighting what the author calls the man in the car paradox. This concept challenges the assumption that material possessions automatically earn respect and encourages a deeper exploration of what truly garners admiration. The paradox lies in our tendency to admire expensive cars, but rarely respect the person driving them. When we see someone in a luxury vehicle, our admiration is often directed at the car itself, not the driver. This illusion of respect reveals how we confuse wealth with worthiness. We assume that someone who can afford luxury items must automatically deserve respect, but this assumption is shallow and misplaced. The chapter argues that seeking admiration through material possessions is often a futile and unfulfilling pursuit. Expensive belongings might attract attention and envy, but they rarely translate into genuine admiration for the person who owns them. This desire for external validation often stems from insecurity or the belief that self-worth is tied to outward displays of success. However, this approach leads to a cycle of dissatisfaction, as admiration for possessions fades quickly and leaves individuals craving more recognition. True respect and admiration, the chapter suggests, come from qualities like humility, kindness, and empathy. These traits reflect inner character and demonstrate a concern for others. Unlike fleeting admiration for material possessions, respect built on meaningful interactions and genuine qualities fosters stronger and more lasting connections. People remember how they were treated far more than the things someone owns. To redefine success and earn respect meaningfully, the chapter offers several key principles. First, shift your focus from external validation to internal worth. Cultivate self-worth that is independent of material possessions or the approval of others. This means investing in your character, pursuing your passions, and contributing to something larger than yourself. Internal validation creates genuine confidence and attracts admiration from people who value depth and authenticity. Second, seek respect through meaningful actions. This involves demonstrating your values and commitment to positively impacting the world. Volunteer your time, support causes that matter to you, or use your skills to help others. These actions create a reputation based on integrity and compassion, earning admiration that goes beyond superficial markers of success. Practicing humility and gratitude is another crucial element. Acknowledge the role of luck and circumstance in your achievements, and express gratitude for what you have. Humility keeps you grounded and approachable, while gratitude fosters contentment and reduces the need to chase external approval. Finally, invest in cultivating strong relationships. Build connections with people who value you for who you are, not for what you own. These meaningful relationships provide encouragement, belonging, and respect that enrich your life in ways material possessions never could. By understanding the man in the car paradox, you can shift your perspective on success and respect. Moving away from the pursuit of material validation and focusing on meaningful qualities and actions creates a life that is not only rich in wealth, but also in genuine admiration and fulfillment. Chapter 9. Wealth is what you don't see. This chapter delves into the distinction between being rich and being wealthy, emphasizing that true wealth is often hidden and lies in what you don't see. It challenges the common misconception that outward displays of affluence automatically indicate financial security, urging a shift in mindset toward building long-term prosperity. The difference between what's visible and invisible is a key theme. Being rich often refers to high income and conspicuous consumption, luxury cars, extravagant vacations, and flashy purchases. On the other hand, being wealthy encompasses hidden assets like savings, investments, and the potential for future income. True wealth isn't about what you show the world. It's about the financial foundation you build behind the scenes. This distinction challenges the illusion of wealth created by material possessions. Expensive items may create the impression of affluence, but they often mask financial instability. People who appear rich may be heavily in debt or living beyond their means, leaving them financially vulnerable despite their outward displays. True financial security is rarely flashy. It's built on careful planning, saving, and disciplined spending. The chapter also emphasizes the power of delayed gratification as the cornerstone of wealth building. By choosing to save and invest instead of indulging in short-term luxuries, you allow your money to grow and compound over time. This disciplined approach creates a financial safety net and sets the stage for lasting prosperity. Small sacrifices today, like driving a modest car or skipping unnecessary upgrades, can translate into significant rewards in the future. Wealth is reframed as a source of options and flexibility rather than just a monetary figure. A strong financial base provides the freedom to pursue opportunities that align with your values, whether it's changing careers, starting a business, or retiring early. This flexibility allows you to make life decisions based on your aspirations rather than being limited by financial constraints. The chapter encourages adopting a mindset that prioritizes building wealth over displaying it. Start by resisting the urge to impress others. Spending money to showcase your financial status is counterproductive, as it quickly depletes resources that could have been used to build long-term wealth. As the chapter aptly puts it, spending money to show people how much money you have is the fastest way to have less money. Developing a long-term perspective is equally important. By prioritizing financial security over immediate gratification, you can make smarter decisions about spending and investing. Consistency is key. Small, regular investments can grow exponentially over time, thanks to the power of compounding. Defining your financial goals is another critical step. Clearly outline what you want to achieve financially, whether it's saving for retirement, buying a home, or building an emergency fund. With defined goals, it becomes easier to resist impulsive spending and stay focused on your long-term aspirations. Lastly, the chapter suggests seeking professional guidance when needed. A financial advisor can provide personalized advice and strategies, helping you navigate complex decisions while staying aligned with your financial objectives. By shifting your focus from outward displays of wealth to the unseen foundation of true financial security, you can build a life of stability, flexibility, and freedom. Embracing principles like saving, investing, and delayed gratification creates the financial foundation for a life that aligns with your values and long-term goals. Chapter 10. Save Money. This chapter emphasizes the fundamental role of saving in building wealth, arguing that how much you save matters more than how much you earn or the returns on your investments. It encourages a mindset shift, framing saving not as deprivation, but as a powerful tool for achieving freedom and flexibility in life. A high savings rate is critical for financial success. While earning a high income can open doors, it's not enough to guarantee wealth if you're spending most of what you make. Conversely, even with a modest income, saving consistently over time can lead to substantial wealth accumulation. This principle highlights that wealth isn't determined by what you earn, but by what you keep. The key to saving more lies in spending less, and the key to spending less is desiring less. Conscious consumption and mindful spending are essential practices. By evaluating your needs and distinguishing them from your wants, you can identify unnecessary expenses to cut. This approach not only frees up more resources for saving, but also helps detach your sense of worth from material possessions. When you desire less, you're less likely to feel the need to spend, creating a virtuous cycle that supports long-term wealth building. Saving isn't just about meeting specific goals. It's about creating optionality. This means building a financial cushion that provides the freedom to make life choices without being constrained by financial limitations. Whether it's seizing an unexpected opportunity, changing careers, or retiring early, savings give you the flexibility to navigate life on your own terms. This saving for optionality perspective reframes saving as a source of empowerment rather than a sacrifice. The chapter uses an analogy between saving money and conserving energy to illustrate its point. Just as finding new energy sources can be unpredictable and challenging, relying solely on increasing income to build wealth isn't always feasible. Instead, conserving what we already have, through mindful spending and consistent saving, is a more reliable and sustainable path to financial security. By focusing on what you can control, like your spending habits, you gain greater control over your financial future. The chapter provides actionable steps to implement these ideas effectively. 1. Track your spending and identify areas to cut. Awareness is the first step. Monitor your expenses for a few months to understand where your money is going. Use budgeting apps or simple spreadsheets to identify areas where you can reduce unnecessary spending. 2. Automate your savings. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to a savings or investment account. This eliminates the need for willpower and ensures consistency in building your financial foundation. 3. Reframe your relationship with material possessions. Resist societal pressures to acquire more. Evaluate purchases based on their true value to you, not on their ability to impress others. A minimalist approach, focusing on experiences and relationships rather than material goods, can lead to greater satisfaction and financial freedom. 4. Embrace delayed gratification. Practice patience and recognize the long-term rewards of saving. Waiting to fulfill desires not only strengthens financial discipline, but also makes eventual purchases more meaningful and satisfying. 5. Find joy in saving. Shift your perspective to see saving as a positive and empowering action. Celebrate small milestones and acknowledge the progress you're making toward your goals. Saving isn't just about what you're giving up, it's about what you're gaining: security, flexibility, and freedom. By prioritizing saving, spending thoughtfully, and adopting these strategies, you can take control of your finances and build lasting wealth. Saving becomes not just a means to an end, but a path to a life that aligns with your values, aspirations, and long-term goals. Chapter 11. Reasonable greater than rational. This chapter emphasizes the importance of being reasonable over strictly rational when making financial decisions. It acknowledges that while traditional economic theories assume humans act rationally to maximize outcomes, real-life decisions are often influenced by emotions, biases, and social pressures. These factors complicate financial decision-making and highlight the need for a more flexible, human-centered approach. Rationality, as defined by economics, involves decisions that maximize financial outcomes. However, this perspective often ignores the emotional and psychological aspects of decision-making. For example, a purely rational approach might dictate cutting every unnecessary expense, but this could lead to stress or dissatisfaction, which undermines overall well-being. Being reasonable, on the other hand, means considering both the financial and emotional aspects of decisions, prioritizing peace of mind and personal happiness over strict optimization. Reasonable choices align with personal values and goals, making them unique to each individual. For instance, one person might prioritize financial security, saving aggressively and avoiding debt, while another might value experiences, choosing to spend on travel or hobbies. Neither approach is inherently right or wrong. It depends on what aligns with your vision of a fulfilling life. The chapter highlights the value of simplicity and sustainability in financial planning. Overly complex investment strategies or rigid budgets may look good on paper, but can be hard to maintain when life gets unpredictable. A simpler, adaptable plan is more likely to endure over time, helping you stay on track even when circumstances change. Understanding your risk tolerance is another key element. While taking risks is essential for growth, taking on more risk than you're comfortable with can lead to anxiety, stress, and poor decisions, particularly during market downturns. Aligning your investments with your risk tolerance ensures you stay calm and focused, avoiding rash decisions driven by fear. Building a margin of safety, saving more than you think you'll need, and preparing for the unexpected is a cornerstone of this approach. This buffer provides financial security, allowing you to weather uncertainties without compromising long-term goals. Whether it's an emergency fund or conservative investments, having a cushion brings peace of mind and reduces the pressure to make perfect decisions. To integrate reasonable greater than rational into your financial life, start by defining your values and goals. What truly matters to you? Financial freedom, stability, experiences, or something else? Let these priorities guide your decisions. Acknowledge that emotions will play a role in how you handle money. Instead of suppressing them, understand their influence and work with them to make balanced choices. Seek moderation in your financial behavior. Extreme frugality might harm your quality of life, while reckless spending undermines financial security. Striking a balance allows you to enjoy today while preparing for tomorrow. Avoid comparing yourself to others, as everyone's financial circumstances and goals are different. Focus on what's reasonable for your situation, not what others are doing. Finally, practice patience and persistence. Building wealth takes time, consistency, and the ability to withstand setbacks. Trust the process, and don't let short-term fluctuations derail your long-term plan. By embracing reasonableness, you create a financial strategy that is not only effective, but also sustainable and fulfilling. This approach acknowledges the human side of money management, helping you achieve greater happiness and long-term financial well-being. Chapter 12. Surprise. This chapter highlights the inevitability of surprises in life and finance, emphasizing that unexpected events are not anomalies, but a natural part of the unpredictable future. It challenges the reliance on historical data as a guide for decision-making, urging a shift toward adaptability and humility in the face of uncertainty. The idea that things that have never happened before happen all the time underscores the limitations of historical data. While history offers valuable insights, it cannot account for the unprecedented events and unique circumstances that continually shape the future. For example, technological breakthroughs, regulatory changes, or demographic shifts can introduce entirely new dynamics that render past patterns less relevant. Relying solely on the assumption that the future will mimic the past can lead to misguided expectations and decisions. Given this unpredictability, the chapter stresses the importance of adaptability. In a world where surprises are inevitable, rigid plans often fall short. Flexibility allows you to pivot and adjust your strategies as circumstances change, enabling you to navigate unforeseen challenges without derailing your financial goals. Adaptability is not just a skill, it's a mindset that fosters resilience and openness to change. Humility also plays a crucial role in dealing with uncertainty. Recognizing the limits of our knowledge and acknowledging that we cannot predict every outcome helps us approach financial decisions with a balanced perspective. Overconfidence in our ability to foresee the future often leads to poor decisions, while humility encourages more thoughtful planning and the incorporation of safety nets like a margin of error. Several strategies can help you integrate the lessons of this chapter into your financial life. Diversification is a powerful tool for managing risk in an unpredictable world. By spreading your investments across various asset classes, you reduce the impact of any single event on your overall portfolio. Similarly, scenario planning, considering a range of potential outcomes, including unlikely ones, prepares you for a broader spectrum of possibilities and helps you create contingency plans. Continuous learning is another key to staying adaptable. By keeping yourself informed about economic trends, technological innovations, and other influential factors, you equip yourself to make more informed decisions even as the landscape shifts. Finally, maintaining a long-term perspective is essential. Short-term surprises, such as market volatility, are inevitable, but they don't have to derail your financial journey. By focusing on your long-term goals, you can weather temporary disruptions and stay committed to building lasting wealth. Incorporating these lessons into your financial approach fosters resilience and adaptability. By acknowledging the inevitability of surprises, remaining open to change, and preparing for a range of possibilities, you can create a financial strategy that stands the test of time, ultimately increasing your chances of long-term success. Chapter 13: Room for Error. This chapter introduces the vital concept of room for error, emphasizing the importance of incorporating safety margins into financial plans. By building buffers, individuals can better withstand unforeseen circumstances, ensuring financial resilience and long-term stability. This approach recognizes that the future is inherently unpredictable and that even the best-laid plans are subject to disruption. The unpredictability of the future lies at the heart of this idea. Life is full of unexpected events, market downturns, job losses, sudden expenses, that can derail even the most meticulously crafted financial strategies. Since accurately forecasting such events is nearly impossible, creating room for error becomes essential. This buffer provides the flexibility to absorb shocks without jeopardizing long-term progress. Room for error also protects against the unknown risks that are impossible to anticipate. An anecdote from history illustrates this. During World War II, German tanks were compromised not by direct combat, but by mice chewing through critical wiring. This unexpected and seemingly trivial issue highlights how even unforeseeable risks can have significant consequences. By incorporating a safety margin, you create a protective layer that cushions against both known and unknown risks. Another critical insight is the need to avoid single points of failure. Situations where the success of an entire plan hinges on one critical element functioning perfectly. If that element fails, the entire system collapses. Diversification is a key strategy to address this. Spreading investments across asset classes, maintaining multiple income streams, and having an emergency fund are practical ways to ensure your financial stability doesn't rest on one pillar. Practical strategies for incorporating room for error into your financial life include saving more than you think you'll need. Many expenses and income disruptions are difficult to foresee, and a larger savings cushion provides peace of mind and flexibility. Similarly, a conservative investment approach, such as focusing on lower-risk assets like index funds or bonds, aligns with this mindset. Legendary investor Benjamin Graham's concept of a margin of safety echoes this principle, urging investors to prioritize security over chasing high returns. Another key idea is planning for the plan not going according to plan. Financial strategies rarely unfold as envisioned, so anticipating setbacks and being prepared to adjust is essential. Flexibility and adaptability ensure that unexpected obstacles don't derail your overall progress. Maintaining an emergency fund that covers several months of living expenses is a cornerstone of this approach, providing a lifeline during challenging times without the need to accumulate high-interest debt. The concept of room for error extends beyond finances. It can be applied to career decisions, personal goals, and even relationships. Building flexibility and contingency plans into various aspects of life fosters resilience and allows for better navigation through uncertainties. Finally, embracing humility and acknowledging the limits of our knowledge are central to this philosophy. Recognizing that the future is unpredictable helps guide more thoughtful and robust decision-making. Overconfidence can lead to inadequate preparation, while a humble mindset encourages creating safeguards for the unknown. By integrating room for error into your financial and personal strategies, you build a framework that accounts for life's inevitable twists and turns. This mindset fosters greater security, peace of mind, and confidence in your ability to handle the uncertainties of the future. Chapter 14. You'll change. This chapter explores the inevitability of change in personal goals and priorities over time, emphasizing the importance of adaptability in financial planning. It challenges the common assumption that our current preferences and aspirations will remain fixed, urging us to create plans that accommodate the shifts in desires and circumstances that come with personal growth and life experiences. A key concept highlighted is the illusion of stability, or the end of history illusion, which reflects our tendency to believe that our present selves represent the peak of our personal evolution. This bias can lead to rigid financial plans based on the assumption that our current goals will stay constant. However, as we age, gain new experiences, and navigate changing circumstances, our priorities often shift, rendering inflexible plans impractical or even counterproductive. Several factors contribute to these shifts. Age and life stages naturally influence our aspirations. What seems essential in our 20s, like career advancement, might lose significance in our 40s when family dynamics or personal fulfillment take precedence. Personal growth, new relationships, and life challenges also shape our perspectives, often leading us to reassess what truly matters. External forces, like economic shifts or technological advancements, can further impact our goals and necessitate adjustments to our financial strategies. Failing to account for these changes can result in financial plans that feel restrictive or misaligned with evolving priorities. For instance, committing to a demanding career path early on might limit the flexibility needed to explore new passions or adapt to family responsibilities later in life. Recognizing this potential for change is essential for crafting a plan that grows with you. To address this, the chapter emphasizes practical strategies for building adaptability into your financial planning. Regularly reviewing and reassessing your financial plans ensures they remain aligned with your current circumstances and future aspirations. This might involve adjusting investment strategies, reevaluating risk tolerance, or redefining savings goals based on what's most important at each stage of life. Building flexibility and optionality into your plan is another crucial step. Diversifying your investments, maintaining multiple income streams, and avoiding overly restrictive financial commitments allow you to adapt to changes more seamlessly. A flexible plan provides the freedom to pivot when needed, whether to seize new opportunities or respond to unexpected challenges. Investing in experiences and relationships often brings more lasting fulfillment than material possessions. Traveling, pursuing hobbies, and nurturing meaningful connections create memories and personal growth that transcend financial goals. Prioritizing these areas adds depth to life, aligning your spending and saving habits with what truly enriches your well-being. Self-awareness also plays a significant role in navigating change. Understanding your core values helps guide financial decisions, ensuring they reflect your authentic self. Additionally, recognizing biases like the end of history illusion allows you to make more objective and informed choices that account for the inevitability of personal evolution. By embracing the reality that you'll change, you can approach financial planning with a dynamic mindset. Regular reassessment, prioritization of flexibility, and a focus on experiences and relationships ensure your financial strategies adapt alongside your evolving goals and aspirations. This adaptable approach increases the likelihood of achieving both financial security and a fulfilling life across all stages. Chapter 15. Nothing's free. This chapter emphasizes that achieving financial success comes with inevitable costs, both emotional and psychological, that must be acknowledged and accepted as part of the process. These costs, often mistaken for penalties, should instead be reframed as necessary fees for long-term financial gains. The journey to financial success involves volatility, fear, doubt, uncertainty, and regret. These challenges test even the most experienced investors, as market fluctuations and downturns can provoke anxiety and second-guessing. However, these emotional burdens are not anomalies, but inherent features of investing. Accepting them as unavoidable costs rather than obstacles can shift your mindset and help you persevere during turbulent times. Patience and discipline are critical for navigating these challenges. Compounding, one of the most powerful forces in wealth creation, requires time to work effectively. Short-term setbacks are inevitable, but reacting impulsively to market volatility or chasing quick profits often leads to poor decisions that hinder long-term growth. Staying committed to a long-term strategy, even when faced with uncertainty, is essential for financial success. Although the chapter doesn't explicitly discuss opportunity cost, it implies its relevance. Every financial decision involves trade-offs. For example, allocating resources to stocks may limit opportunities to invest in other assets like real estate. Recognizing these trade-offs helps in making informed choices aligned with your overall financial goals. A powerful analogy presented in the chapter compares investing to buying a ticket to Disneyland. The ticket cost is seen as a worthwhile fee for the joyful experiences awaiting you. Similarly, the emotional and psychological challenges of investing, like market volatility and occasional losses, are fees paid for the potential to achieve long-term returns. Viewing these costs as fees, rather than fines or punishments, fosters a healthier perspective and reduces the likelihood of reactive decision-making during market downturns. Practical applications of this mindset include accepting volatility as a natural part of the investing process. Instead of fearing fluctuations, embrace them as the price of entry to long-term wealth creation. Maintaining a long-term perspective is also vital. By focusing on growth over decades rather than being distracted by short-term noise, you allow the compounding effect to amplify your wealth. Understanding your risk tolerance is equally important, even though it's not directly addressed in this chapter. Recognizing how much volatility you can comfortably endure helps in selecting investment strategies that align with your emotional capacity and financial goals. Investors with lower risk tolerance might opt for stable, lower-yield investments, while those with higher tolerance may embrace more volatile assets for potentially greater returns. By reframing the costs of investing as fees for wealth creation rather than as penalties, you can develop a more resilient and realistic approach to financial success. This perspective reduces emotional reactions to market swings, reinforces the importance of long-term thinking, and ultimately increases your chances of achieving financial goals. Chapter 16, You and Me. This chapter underscores the individuality of financial goals and strategies, emphasizing the importance of tailoring decisions to personal circumstances rather than blindly following the actions or advice of others. It highlights that each person is playing their own financial game, with unique time horizons, risk tolerances, and objectives, making generic advice often irrelevant or even harmful. Financial goals and strategies are as diverse as the individuals pursuing them. Your personal experiences, values, and risk appetite shape your financial identity. For instance, a young entrepreneur with a high risk tolerance may benefit from aggressive investment strategies, whereas a retiree seeking stability requires a more conservative approach. Recognizing this diversity is crucial for crafting strategies that align with your unique circumstances. The chapter warns against the dangers of mimicry, imitating others' financial decisions without understanding their context or alignment with your goals. This tendency often peaks during market bubbles where FOMO, fear of missing out, pushes investors to make irrational decisions, chasing trends without considering their suitability. Following someone else's strategy, particularly during volatile times, can lead to disastrous outcomes if their goals and risk tolerances differ significantly from yours. Time horizons are another essential consideration. A long-term investor, focused on decades of growth, can endure short-term volatility in pursuit of larger gains. On the other hand, a short-term investor might prioritize lower-risk assets to achieve stability for immediate needs. Aligning your financial decisions with your specific time horizon ensures that your strategy supports your objectives without undue stress or risk. To navigate your financial journey effectively, start by identifying your own game. Define your financial goals clearly, whether they involve achieving a desired lifestyle, building financial security, or saving for specific milestones like retirement or education. Understanding the motivations behind these goals helps create a strategy that aligns with what truly matters to you. Honest self-assessment of your risk tolerance is equally important. Determine how much market volatility and potential loss you can emotionally and financially endure. Misjudging your risk tolerance can lead to panic-driven decisions during downturns, which often hinder long-term progress. Avoid external pressures, such as societal expectations or the temptation to compare your financial achievements to others. Playing your own financial game, rather than trying to mimic others or keep up appearances, fosters greater satisfaction and peace of mind. Financial success is not about outperforming others. It's about achieving the goals that are meaningful to you. Practically, seeking personalized advice can help tailor your financial plan to your unique circumstances. A trusted financial advisor who understands your situation can provide guidance that aligns with your objectives and priorities. Developing a written financial plan is another powerful tool, offering a roadmap for your goals, strategies, and risk tolerance. Regularly reviewing and updating this plan ensures it evolves alongside your circumstances. Investing in financial education further empowers you to make informed decisions. Learning about personal finance, attending workshops, or consulting reputable resources equips you with the knowledge to navigate the complexities of money management confidently. By embracing the idea that you and me have distinct financial identities, you can avoid the pitfalls of one-size-fits-all advice and focus on strategies tailored to your own life. Defining your goals, understanding your risk tolerance, and seeking guidance when needed ensures that you play your own game, increasing your chances of achieving financial success and personal satisfaction. Chapter 17. The Seduction of Pessimism. This chapter examines the seductive nature of pessimism, which often seems more intellectual and insightful, contrasted with the long-term value of optimism in financial decision-making. It argues that while pessimism tends to captivate with its focus on potential risks, optimism is rooted in humanity's proven resilience and capacity for progress. Pessimism often carries an air of intelligence and sophistication. Pessimistic predictions, framed as warnings about potential dangers, appear thoughtful and discerning. They tap into our survival instincts, highlighting threats that demand attention. This focus on risks can feel more credible and urgent, making pessimism memorable and influential. Media sensationalism amplifies this effect, as negative headlines, stories of crises, economic downturns, and societal collapses are more attention-grabbing than narratives of steady progress. Despite the allure of pessimism, the chapter presents a strong case for optimism. History demonstrates humanity's remarkable ability to overcome challenges and achieve progress, even in the face of significant adversity. From technological advancements to economic recoveries, the long arc of history highlights our capacity to adapt and innovate. One example is the development of fracking technology, which dramatically increased oil production when traditional methods seemed insufficient. This breakthrough illustrates how necessity drives innovation, often defying the gloomy predictions of pessimists. Optimism also supports a long-term perspective, which is essential for compounding to work its magic. The patience to weather short-term fluctuations and focus on decades of growth allows investors to benefit from exponential returns over time. This mindset, fueled by optimism, contrasts with the short-sighted reactions often triggered by pessimism during market downturns. However, the chapter doesn't advocate for blind optimism. Instead, it calls for a balanced approach that acknowledges risks while maintaining confidence in humanity's ability to progress. Recognizing potential dangers and preparing for setbacks allows for prudence without succumbing to paralysis. Excessive pessimism can lead to missed opportunities, while naive optimism may result in reckless decision-making. Striking a balance between hope and caution is key to navigating financial decisions effectively. The chapter also emphasizes focusing on controllable factors. While external predictions and global uncertainties can be distracting, directing energy toward actions within your control, such as saving consistently, investing wisely, and continuously learning, provides a more constructive and empowering approach. Ultimately, while pessimism may feel intellectually rigorous, optimism offers a more valuable framework for long-term financial success. By balancing hope with realism and focusing on what you can control, you can position yourself to benefit from the market's growth potential while weathering inevitable periods of uncertainty and volatility. This approach, rooted in resilience and progress, helps cultivate a mindset that aligns with achieving lasting financial security and fulfillment. Chapter 18. When You'll Believe Anything. This chapter delves into how our desires and emotions shape our beliefs, particularly in financial matters, often leading us to embrace stories that align with what we want to be true, even when they lack evidence or contradict logic. This susceptibility can result in decisions driven by wishful thinking rather than rational analysis, creating significant risks in managing money. At the heart of this tendency lies confirmation bias, our inclination to seek information that supports our existing beliefs while dismissing contradictory evidence. When we deeply desire a particular outcome, we are more likely to accept narratives that validate our hopes, regardless of their validity. This bias can make us vulnerable to persuasive yet unfounded stories that align with what we want to hear. Emotional reasoning further complicates decision-making. Fear, greed, and excitement can overpower logic, causing us to ignore warning signs, underestimate risks, or exaggerate potential rewards. When emotions drive financial choices, we often justify them with stories that resonate emotionally but lack rational substance. Stories themselves are particularly powerful tools of persuasion. Engaging narratives evoke emotions, create a sense of connection, and can overshadow even the most compelling statistical evidence or logical arguments. This is why stories of financial success or disaster often hold more sway over us than cold, hard data. Examples of these appealing fictions abound in finance. Market bubbles provide a clear illustration, where the desire for quick riches and fear of missing out lead investors to embrace unrealistic narratives of endless growth. During the dot-com bubble, for instance, companies with no revenue or profit soared in valuation based on speculative tales of future dominance. Similarly, get-rich-quick schemes prey on the allure of effortless wealth, convincing individuals to ignore the low probability of success in pursuit of overnight fortunes. On the other end of the spectrum, predictions of imminent collapse appeal to those with a pessimistic outlook, feeding fears of societal or economic breakdown despite evidence of recovery or resilience. To guard against the seductive pull of these appealing fictions, cultivating critical thinking is essential. This involves questioning assumptions, seeking evidence, and evaluating alternative perspectives to counteract the influence of emotionally charged narratives. For example, before acting on a hot stock tip or economic prediction, ask whether there is solid data to back it up or if it's driven by hype or fear. Emotional awareness is another key defense. Recognizing how emotions might be influencing your decisions can help you step back and assess situations more objectively. Taking time to pause and consult with trusted advisors can add a layer of rationality to emotionally charged choices. Focusing on process over outcomes is a further safeguard. Instead of chasing specific results or relying on speculative predictions, prioritize sound financial habits such as saving consistently, diversifying investments, and managing risk prudently. A disciplined approach grounded in proven principles reduces the temptation to act on impulsive or emotionally driven beliefs. Understanding the ways in which our desires can distort our beliefs is a crucial step in mitigating their impact on financial decisions. By developing critical thinking skills, staying aware of emotional biases, and grounding our strategies in sound financial principles, we can make decisions that are more logical, evidence-based, and aligned with sustainable long-term goals. Chapter 19. All Together Now. The concluding chapter synthesizes the core lessons from the psychology of money, offering a roadmap to financial success rooted in understanding human behavior and psychological factors. It emphasizes balance, long-term thinking, and cultivating a healthy relationship with money to achieve financial security and fulfillment. One foundational principle is approaching finances with humility and forgiveness. Recognize that successes often involve factors beyond your control, such as luck or timing, and allow yourself grace when mistakes occur. This mindset helps maintain perspective and emotional resilience. A recurring theme is the importance of prioritizing less ego and more wealth. True financial growth requires resisting the urge to impress others through material possessions. Building wealth is a long-term endeavor, achieved through saving, investing, and focusing on what truly matters rather than indulging in immediate gratification. Peace of mind should guide all financial decisions. Avoid unnecessary risks, minimize debt, and create a safety net to handle life's uncertainties. By managing finances with caution and prudence, you can enjoy greater emotional well-being and financial stability. Another key lesson is to embrace the long view. Time is a powerful ally in building wealth, as compounding magnifies gains over decades. A long-term perspective helps investors ride out market volatility and focus on sustainable growth rather than reacting to short-term fluctuations. Acknowledging that imperfection is inevitable is crucial for success. Financial plans don't need to be flawless. Even portfolios with occasional setbacks can achieve substantial growth over time. Accepting and learning from mistakes allows for steady progress. Time over possessions is a powerful reframe of money's value. Beyond material wealth, financial security enables control over your time, offering the freedom to pursue passions, nurture relationships, and enjoy a meaningful life. Prioritizing experiences and personal fulfillment often provides more satisfaction than acquiring things. Cultivating kindness and humility builds lasting respect and satisfaction. Genuine connections, generosity, and contributing to something larger than yourself create a deeper sense of fulfillment than flashy displays of wealth ever could. Consistent saving, even without a specific goal, is a cornerstone of financial success. Saving provides flexibility and security, enabling you to seize opportunities and weather unexpected challenges. The chapter also highlights the need to define the cost of success. Financial goals require trade-offs, such as sacrificing certain luxuries or enduring periods of uncertainty. Recognizing and preparing for these costs makes the journey more manageable and increases the likelihood of achieving your objectives. Room for error is essential in any financial plan. A buffer in your savings, investments, and income provides protection against setbacks and ensures continued progress despite unforeseen events. The importance of avoiding extremes is also emphasized. Goals and circumstances change over time, so maintaining flexibility in your financial strategy reduces the risk of regret and allows you to adapt to evolving priorities. Understanding and aligning with your risk tolerance is critical. Taking calculated risks is necessary for growth, but avoiding catastrophic risks ensures your long-term financial future remains secure. A key takeaway is to define your own game. Your financial goals and investment strategies should reflect your unique circumstances, values, and aspirations. Avoid being swayed by others' choices, especially when their goals and risk tolerances differ from yours. Finally, the chapter encourages respect for diverse perspectives. There's no single right way to approach money. Everyone's financial journey is shaped by personal experiences and objectives. Embracing this diversity fosters learning and encourages a more nuanced understanding of financial success. By integrating these principles into your financial mindset and habits, you can cultivate a balanced, resilient approach to money. This not only builds lasting wealth, but also supports a fulfilling and secure life aligned with your values and goals. Chapter 20, Confessions. This final chapter offers a deeply personal perspective, emphasizing that personal finance is just that, personal. The author shares his financial beliefs and behaviors, highlighting that there's no universal formula for success. Instead, financial decisions should align with individual circumstances, goals, and values, ultimately fostering peace of mind and well-being. One of the author's key strategies is investing in index funds. After years of attempting to pick individual stocks, he shifted to low-cost index funds, recognizing the difficulty of consistently outperforming the market. This approach offers simplicity and reliability, leveraging the long-term growth of the market while avoiding the stress and complexity of active stock picking. A central goal for the author is achieving financial independence, the ability to control his time and choices without financial constraints. This objective drives all his financial decisions, ensuring that his actions align with his values and priorities. Financial independence, for him, is not about accumulating the most wealth, but about gaining the freedom to live life on his own terms. The author credits his financial mindset to his upbringing. His parents instilled a sense of frugality and disciplined saving, even after achieving financial stability. These lessons shaped his approach to money, emphasizing the importance of a high savings rate and thoughtful financial management. Another cornerstone of his philosophy is prioritizing peace of mind. For the author, sound financial decisions are those that allow for restful sleep and reduced anxiety. This means avoiding excessive risks, minimizing debt, and maintaining a financial cushion to navigate life's uncertainties. The goal isn't maximizing returns at all costs, but creating a sense of security and stability. The overarching takeaway from this chapter is that there's no one-size-fits-all truth in personal finance. Each individual's circumstances, risk tolerance, goals, and experiences lead to a unique financial journey. What works for one person might not work for another, and that's okay. The author encourages readers to find what works for them, whether it's through trial and error, learning from their mistakes, or adapting strategies over time. Aligning financial decisions with personal values and comfort levels is crucial for long-term success and satisfaction. While the chapter doesn't explicitly suggest it, seeking professional guidance can be a valuable step in navigating complex financial decisions. A qualified financial advisor can provide tailored advice and help ensure that your strategies align with your goals and circumstances. Ultimately, this chapter serves as a powerful reminder that personal finance is deeply individual. Success isn't about following a universal formula or achieving arbitrary milestones. It's about crafting a financial plan that works for you. By embracing your unique journey, learning from your experiences, and prioritizing what truly matters, you can achieve financial well-being and peace of mind on your own terms. Personal finance is a journey unique to each of us, shaped by our values, goals, and experiences. So, what does financial success look like for you? Take a moment to reflect on your goals and how your financial habits align with the life you truly want. If you're ready to take control of your finances and create a strategy tailored to your needs, start today. Begin with small, intentional steps. Whether it's setting up a savings plan, exploring low-cost investments, or simply defining what financial independence means to you. And remember, your financial journey is yours alone, no one else's. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it lead you to the peace of mind and freedom you deserve. For more insights on navigating the psychology of money and building wealth your way, make sure to like, subscribe, and join the conversation.